As you get older, man, you start to notice that a lot of people who you grew up with, or a lot of people who just knew you, they start to treat you differently. And it starts at a young age, actually, but when you get older, it gets more worse. When you get older and you don't have the accolades that you're supposed to have at a certain age, maybe you're 25 and unmarried, maybe you're even older than that, and you may not have your driver's license or your own apartment or something like that. And in the eyes of the world, they kind of look at you like you're a loser. They talk about you, they degrade you, they make you feel like you're not even human. When you're younger, you have so much potential, and people look at you and they smile at you more in certain cases. Not always, because a lot of us come from abusive homes where even our youth wasn't even good. But for certain people, when they were younger, people, they treated them more nicer. They thought that you was going to become something great, or if not great, you'll at least be able to contribute to the family, to contribute to people's well-being and try to raise their quality of life. But when you suffer through so much depression from being isolated, from not having the right girl in your life, and not having any type of help to achieve your dreams, certain dreams, you need help. You need certain people in certain positions to open doors for you, because this world is like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. You have to know the right people, and knowing the right people can open doors for you that you would not otherwise have gotten without certain people. And when you're a guy in this position, people start to treat you different because you're not married, you don't have certain life goals, you're not rich, you're not wealthy, you kind of stick to yourself, you're kind of lonely. And people that used to smile at you, now they talk behind your back. They're planning your downfall, they're planning your destruction, they're utilizing all types of psychological warfare tactics against you. And your existence, it seems, is just, it's detrimental to their happiness for whatever reason. And it's brutal when you live in a world like that. But when you get older as a man, it just breaks you down more, because you start to realize the truth. You realize that a lot of problems that you're having in life, and a lot of problems that you had in life in the past, it came from people. It came from being around the wrong people, or being around people who you thought were right, but those people stabbed you in the damn back. And it sucks, because certain people, man, you may have shared some good memories with, and now they're nowhere to be found. These people, like, if you called them now, they wouldn't even pick up their phone. Like, they have no care about you at all. They just, they treat you differently, strictly because you don't fit into that social dynamic anymore. You know, like, I remember about 7, 8 years ago, I was on the phone or whatever, and I was talking to this associate, and he was like, "Oh, you don't have any kids yet?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't have any kids." He's like, "Wow." He's like, "Man," he's like, "What the heck's wrong with you, man? Man, you better hurry up and have kids before time runs out." At the time, I thought it was weird, but I kind of like, I was in more of the blue pill, like, yeah, man, he's right. I gotta hurry up and find somebody, and have a family and get married and all that. But as I got older and wiser, and now I see that that person is just you know, somebody that thinks that wants to think the best outcomes, which is, it's good sometimes, but it's not realistic. Realistically, is that the worst outcome is what happened. And unfortunately for that guy, he ended up getting divorced twice, right? But I remember him talking about, like, I don't have like the way, like, I said, like, I didn't have, like, I didn't have any kids. How, like, he felt like disgusted. You see, normies and NPCs will get disgusted when you're not adding on to the drudgery, when you're not adding on to the ridiculousness that we call this life, when you're not adding on to the demiurge's loose farming energy. You're going to be attacked in this world. There's so much evil, and it's all around us, and it's right in front of our faces. You shouldn't have to wake up every single day and go to a place that you don't want and spend most of your waking hours there making somebody else rich. And then if you complain about that, people tell you to just man up. Man up. You mean servant up, And not everybody's meant to be a servant. There's probably a dream, or there's probably something that you're really good at, you're really talented at. And if you just had the time to really focus on that, you may be able to turn that into a business and start making money from that. And even though it's rare, it's possible when you have the time, when you have the energy, and when you're younger. The older you get, the more people kind of just, they resent you. They resent your presence. People don't like you. Like, they don't like to have you around. Like, nobody wants to have that 25-year-old, 28-year-old, 30-year-old, 35-year-old guy who doesn't have any children and he's not married and he's weird and awkward. Like, nobody wants to have that person around. So you're going to find yourself always getting into trouble. You're going to find yourself always going place to place. You're going to find yourself getting kicked out from place to place. You're going to find yourself having a hard time finding a job. You're gonna have a hard time getting a business idea off the ground. You're just gonna have a hard time all around. And you're gonna start to question reality. You're gonna start to question existence and ask yourself, why the hell is this happening? Why do I always have a hard time every freaking where I go? Right? And the real reason is because this world's an evil luge farm. This world is designed to break us down. This world is designed to make sure that we're as happy as possible. Just look how life is designed. Do you really think that this world is designed for us to be happy? But every time you grow older, it seems like the world grows colder. Every time you grow older, life is totally different than what it was when I was younger. I mean, like when I was younger, kids used to play outside a lot. Like you see kids playing outside at the park, kids riding their skateboards and all that. Now, when you go to certain areas, there's nobody outside. Like you may see kids like riding their bikes, at the same time, like walking their dog, riding their bike at the same time, something like that. But just kids just randomly playing. Like you may see people playing basketball at the park. Like you may see that, yeah. But it's not as much as it was back in the days. It definitely like dropped off. Like the world is just absolutely just getting more brutal, and it's getting more harsh, and it's getting more devastating. It's getting more difficult to go on, because it's like, what's the point once you know that all of this is just to destroy you? All of this is just to make sure that like your innovation, your creativity, things that make you happy, things that make you want to live and give you a reason to breathe. It seems like this world does everything in its power to take those things from you. Or if not take it from you, tax it, so it like make it almost impossible for you to have without having money. People say money doesn't buy happiness, but money buys a little bit more freedom and movement in the prison. You know, if you if you have money, you don't have to do certain things that you don't want to do, and you don't have to take crap from people that you shouldn't be taking crap from in the first place. And what really sucks is when your whole life you've been getting targeted and getting attacked and getting isolated for destruction, and when you have people that's been around you your whole entire life, and at one point they had hope in you, they had belief in you, and now they lost all belief and they lost all faith in you. They treat you differently. Maybe your dad treats you differently than when you were younger. Maybe when you were younger, your dad thought you was gonna make it to the NBA or be a football player, and now due to psychological issues and not having a woman and being lonely, and people calling you lazy and say you just stay in your room all day and all that. Now you just lost the will to fight, and it's gonna be hard to try to spark that ember of fight inside of you and try to achieve something great and try to do great things because you've been devastated for such a long time. You know, psychological ramifications of isolation needs to be studied. It needs to like serious studies need to be taken into this, and then like when these studies are done, I think they already have studies out, but like serious studies, so when they know when people crash out, you know they should just you know somehow before that happens try to make sure these people are good, taken care of mentally. If you know a person is going through it in life, why not have a small little city, those tiny little houses? You can have a city like a city of tiny houses, have people move there and say, okay, $100 for rent, or something like that, right? Like the only thing, maybe you got to make like your own little water line or something like that in your tiny house, whatever. Like whatever, you know. Or I think it should. I think a tiny house comes with pipes and all that stuff, right? Yeah, I'm sure it does, right? So make sure you have all that, and you should be fine. And like $100 for like just to pay your spot on the land or something like that. And the government shouldn't be as intrusive because they know we have psychological issues. But it's like something doesn't want us to be happy or free. Something wants us to be miserable, man. And as you grow older, that that tenacity, that tenacity to fight and try to achieve something in life, it kind of grows colder because you realize after a certain age that damn, if I haven't made it now, the chances of me really making it is probably zero. And then once you believe that and lose hope and lose your hopes, it's over. That's why sometimes it's best, even if it's fantasy believing, like if it's something that is good, like if it's not something that's going to hurt you, if it's something that's good and it gives you something to work towards and it makes you better, it makes you sharper, and it makes you get into a possibility of financial viability, then you can believe in it. Like, believe you'll have a successful business. Like, if you're seeing some results, even if they're small, but you're seeing results, it's good just to have high hopes. But you got to understand that reality is designed to break you. But sometimes just believing in that gives you the strength to go another day. Is that really healthy long term? Nah. But sometimes you need it, man. Sometimes your mind needs rest, especially in a world like this, which bad things happen more often than not, and it's very difficult to try to focus when you're depressed and when you're stressed out, and you don't have like no girl in your life, and you don't have that human touch. It's I don't know, man. It's like when you feel lonely, like there's like a certain spirit that follows you and it taunts you. I don't know how to explain it or describe it, but you just start seeing like commercials with like couples. You start going outside and seeing like couples kissing in front of you, or the guy like smacking the girl's butt and then kind of looking at you and giving you that evil little smirk. Like it's like little things like that. It's like, why in the hell this person, like, why did that happen? Like that, like that's how you know that the shit's designed. It's scripted. A lot of events in this life is scripted by by the damn demiurge and his archons, and it's perpetrated by the NPCs and the soulless ones and the Hylics. Because just take a second and look at this world, man. If you had a choice, would you like come to a world like this if you had a choice? Or is this a world where like you're kind of forced to be thrown into a world like this, and you would never came to a world like this in a million billion trillion years? Like, this world seems like it's a hell realm. It really does. It seems like it's designed to torture you and torment you. Just being able to want something that you can never have. You see a pretty girl, she's like, damn, if I had that girl in my life, I would be so freaking happy. And society teases you by showing you that girl, and then she's with some deviant or some miscreant or Chad or Tyrone, and it's like damn, and like they just hit it a few times and then leave it. Meanwhile, you'd have probably wifed that girl, but now you can't wife her now because she's a thought, and you can't wife her now. So the girl that you wanted already got devastated. She already has, an X videos and all that. she got an OnlyFraud's account, and you can't wife that. So what is there really to fight for in this world? If all the girls and all the modern women are thoughts and bops, and you can't really find a wife, if the jobs are not paying enough for you to even move out, or without you being homeless or whatever, what is there to fight for in this world? Is every day just for survival? Is every day just for us to just work at a job that we don't like, to pay bills that we don't wanna, to live a life that we don't even want to be a part of anymore? Because now it feels like we're just serving just for the purpose of serving, just for the purpose of servitude. And what makes it worse is that when you don't have nobody around to hold you down, when you get older and people like look at you and like, oh, how come you don't have any children yet? How come you don't have this yet? How come you don't have that? It's so freaking annoying. because they don't understand your psychological issues. They don't understand that you've went through things that you're not a normal person, so you shouldn't be judged and held up to normal standards. You're a hikikomori. You're an inkwell. You're a neat. You're somebody that's not really, you're not the best looking. So since you're not the best looking, you're gonna get treated a certain way. Even if people try to deny that fact, but it's the fact. You get treated how you look like in this world. People judge you when they first meet you based on how you look like. They don't get to know your personality. Your personality is your face, how people see you. People judge people within 5 seconds, right? Like a female will look at you and within 5 seconds she'll know if she wants to give it up to you or not. And like it doesn't take her 5 years, 5 minutes. It takes a girl 5 seconds, if not less than that, to look at your face, and it's like almost automatic. It's like when you see a beautiful girl, it's almost automatic. Damn, she's beautiful. Like you see, like you have positive feelings just by looking at her before your brain even recognizes it. You know, that's natural attraction, and you can't beat natural attraction because natural attraction is everything in this world. And when you've always been treated a certain way based on your looks, and you get older and people still treat you that same way, and it's different people in different environments. You go to different jobs, you go to different schools, you go to different social events, and it seems like something's following you, like a black cloud is following you and making sure your life is just hell. So what do you do with that? How do you combat something like that? How do you combat some type of spiritual crap that could be going on? I know it's hard for certain people to believe, they don't like believe in any supernatural or spiritual things. I understand, but some of this shit, man, it just can't be explained like by just the normal go around. Like there's some esoteric crap going on in this world. No way you can have a world like this that's supposed to be a good world, right? But yet everybody's miserable for the most part. You know, everybody has something that's going on that's going on in their life that it breaks them. It makes them unhappy. And the consistency and the persistence of these events leads me to believe that these are orchestrated events that are being done purposely just so that it can extract the negative energetic manifestational frequency called loosh. And that's when human souls generate this energy when we're depressed, when we're sad, when we're mad, when we're unhappy, when we're going through things, it like whatever negative vibrational frequency is released. And these beings, they feed off of that. And it's crazy because it starts to make sense because you see it everywhere. You see it every single where. And the world's not getting any easier, guys. It's getting more harsh. It's getting more cruel. It's getting more brutal. It's getting more insane. And it's like you have to be rich to enjoy life. It's like you can't enjoy life unless you're a millionaire. And that sucks because most of us are never going to become millionaires because it's like the world makes it impossible for you to make it. And you can try your hardest and still lose in this world, and that's what makes it insane. How can you try your hardest in something and you can still lose at it? That's what like sucks about this realm. You can give it your all. You can try your hardest. You can overcome so many obstacles, and there can be one thing that can still take you down and destroy you. It's an absolutely brutal place. And I wonder what happens after we pass away. What dimension are we going to find ourselves in, made by this Yaldabaoth, made by this evil creature that the world calls a god? I can't imagine how many wicked and evil and terrifying realms this wicked, sadistic, twisted being has for us. But I guess we're going to find out. This world is absolutely brutal, and we just got to stay strong, guys. I know it's hard. I know we're going through a lot of things that most regular people just don't go through, but we got to stay strong somehow, some way, because If we don't, man, a lot of us are going to snap and we're going to break because there's only so much we can take before we just realize that sometimes this crap is not even worth it, man. Like, this whole world is just ridiculous and it's not a place that I really want to be a part of.